Hello and welcome to our last video of this chapter. In the previous section, we learned how to change from verbal statements into equations. Today, we will do the same and then we will continue to solve those equations that we came up with from the verbal statement. If you look at this example, we have a verbal statement that says when 3 is taken from 5 times a certain number, the result is as adding 6 to twice that number. So the first step in verbal statements is to change them into mathematical equation. And when you have a certain number, a mystery number, we said we're going to use a variable to symbolize it. So I'm going to use the variable x. Now, the statement says when 3 is taken, so I'm going to subtract 3 from 5 times a certain number. So not only the certain number itself, but you need to multiply it by 5 first. And then the other side of the equation, the result, is adding 6. So I'm going to add 6 to what? To twice that number. So it's not the number itself again, it's twice that number. So it's 2x. You need to double it. Now, starting to solve this equation, you have two terms that have variables on both sides of the equation. So to solve this kind of equations, we need to cancel one of the terms that have variables in them. And the notes that we had in this particular lesson, we said that when both of them are positive, we're going to cancel the smaller one. So I'm going to cancel the 2x. To cancel the 2x, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. 5x minus 2x, that's 3x. Minus 3 stays as it is, and on the other side, these will cancel each other and you will have only positive 6 on the right side of the equation. Now, the next steps in solving this kind of equation, you need to have the term that has the letter alone on one side of the equation. So we need to cancel this negative 3. To cancel the negative 3, we're going to add 3 to both sides of the equation. You will have 3x on this side, and on the other side you will have 9. The last step is to divide by the coefficient of the variable. So we're going to divide by 3 on both sides of the equation, and you will have the result as x equals to 3. And this is how you guys are going to solve these kind of equations or exercises when you have a verbal statement. You're going to first break it into a mathematical equation and then look at the equation and solve it just like you learned from the previous lessons. Now, I'm going to choose a couple of exercises from the exercise 14.6 and write them on the board and then explain how to solve them. This example right here is question number 5 from exercise 14.6, page 244. The statement says, if I multiply a number by 3, then subtract 4, the result is the same as twice the number. So you're going to multiply a number, which is going to be x. You're going to multiply it by 3, then subtract 4, and the result will be the same as twice that number. So you have the equation as 3x minus 4 equals 2x. Now, what you need to do is cancel one of these terms and then continue to solve the equation. So I'm going to cancel the smaller one. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. On this side, it will be x minus 4, and on the other side you have 2x minus 2x, which will be 0 because there is no other terms. Now you have x minus 4 equals to 0. So what you need to do is cancel this negative 4 by adding 4 to both sides of the equation. And then you will have on this side x minus 4 plus 4 will cancel each other, equals 0 plus 4, that's 4. So this is your solution for this example. Now let's jump to another example and see how we're going to solve it. This example right here, you have a triangle, and when the triangle has these symbols, that means all of the sides of this triangle are equal. This means the length of this side equals the length of this side. So if the length of this side is given as this expression, and the length of this side is given as this expression, that means that this expression equals this expression. And then what you need to do is put it as an equation. So on this side, you will have this expression, which is 3a minus 2 inside of a bracket. And on the other side, you have 4a minus 3. Now, it's just a simple equation with brackets. First of all, you need to cancel those brackets by multiplying on both sides of the equation. By multiplying the term that's outside of the bracket, so 2 times 3a, that's 6a, and 2 times negative 2, that's minus 4. On the other side, you have 4 times 4a, that's 16a, and on this side you will have minus 12. Now, after cancelling the brackets, you notice that you have two terms that have letters on both sides of the equation. So we're going to cancel the smaller one by subtracting 6a from both sides of the equation. These will cancel each other, so we'll have minus 4 on this side equals 10a minus 12. I need the 10a alone on this side, so I'm going to cancel the negative 12. Cancelling the negative 12 by adding 12 to both sides. Minus 4 plus 12, different signs, take the sign of the bigger number and then subtract, so it's positive 8 equals to 10a. Now 10a, so I'm going to divide both sides of the equation by 10, and then you will have a equals as 8 over 10, or divided by 2, that's 4 over 5. So a equals 4 over 5. This last example right here is a solved example in your book. The statement of this example says, one number exceeds another number by 6. When 4 is added to 3 times this smaller number, the result is the same as twice the larger number. So here in this example, you have two numbers that you don't know, and you need to find their values. So what you need to do is assume the expression for those two numbers. For example, I'm going to assume that the smaller number equals to x. And then it says that one number exceeds the other by 6. So the bigger number is 6 more than the smaller number. So you have the smaller number as x, and the larger number is 6 more than the smaller number because it exceeds it by 6. So your assumption, you come up with it from the statement of the question. You don't assume from your own. You assume from the statement that you have in your question. So I put the smaller number as x, and the larger number exceeds it by 6. So I'm going to add 6 to the smaller number. I still don't know what the smaller number is. Then I will continue to read the question. It says, when 4 is added to 3 times the smaller number, so 3x plus 4. Okay, so 4 is added to 3 times the smaller number. The result is the same as twice the larger number. The larger number together is x plus 6. And then twice that, so you multiply all of this expression by 2. Now, it's just an equation that has brackets in them. First of all, you need to cancel the brackets. So 2 times x plus 12. And on the other side, there's no bracket, so the expression stays as it is. Now you have 2 letters on both sides of the equation, so you need to cancel the smaller one since both of them are positive. So subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. 3x minus 2x, that's x, plus 4, and then these two cancel each other, equals to 12. Now you need the value of x, so you subtract 4 from both sides of the equation, and then you will have x equals as 8. Now you have the smaller number as x equals to 8, so the bigger number, you just add 6 to the smaller number, which is 8 now. So the bigger number equals 8 plus 6, which is 14. And this is how you're going to find the two numbers that you have. Now, this is the end of our video. Thank you for watching. See you in another one.